Welcome to Summarize Science, where we look at the fascinating ways people interact. Today, we are exploring a study that tracked social connections at a wedding cocktail hour. While most social network studies happen in places like schools or hospitals, this one dives into a private party. The researchers wanted to see if the social patterns seen in structured environments actually happen in informal gatherings. In the past, data collection settings like offices and classrooms have shown patterns such as clustering and heterogeneous contact rates. However, the researchers noted that institutional schedules and authority roles might obscure how people naturally choose to socialize. Existing studies often rely on proxies like gender or assigned classes, rather than real-world relationships. This study aims to fill that gap by providing the first public temporal network dataset of a private social event. At an outdoor wedding, 95 guests agreed to wear special proximity sensors for about an hour during the cocktail portion. These sensors used ultra-wideband technology to detect whenever two people were within about 5 feet of each other. The goal was to capture organic socializing with meaningful group labels, like being a friend of the bride or groom. Prior to the event, participants answered a survey to identify who they expected to spend their time with. The researchers found that these sensors recorded over 7,000 unique contact events throughout the observation period. This data was turned into a temporal edge list, which is basically a massive map of who talked to whom and when. To maintain privacy, any social group with fewer than 6 people was lumped into a general category labeled as Other. The researchers also had to account for the fact that sensors sometimes missed a 5-second interval, leading them to group data into 10-second bins. There were some interesting limitations to the study, such as the fact that only about 40% of the total guests wore the badges. Because participation was opt-in, those who wore badges might have socialized differently than those who did not. The sensors also had physical limits. For example, the detection range was shorter if guests were standing back-to-back. Contextual factors, like where the bar or food stations were located, were not captured in this specific dataset. In a unique twist, it turns out that 2 of the researchers, Joshua Stadlin and Richard Kahn, were actually the grooms at the wedding. They disclosed this relationship in their official ethics approval to ensure the entire study was transparent. The authors thanked the wedding guests for graciously accommodating this unusual data collection in the name of science. Every participant provided informed consent via a survey before the event began. To recap, this study provided a rare look at a private social event using high-tech tracking badges. The researchers successfully mapped out thousands of interactions across different relationship-based categories. By studying a wedding, they have created a blueprint of how people naturally connect without institutional rules. In the future, this data can be used to refine contact tracing policies or improve the design of social spaces. It might also lead to better simulations of human behavior during contagion risks or social inclusion efforts. Thanks for joining us at Summarize Science to explore the hidden networks of our social lives.